Hello, this is Vince Lara at the College of Applied Health Sciences at the University of Illinois. Today I spend a few minutes with Oluwole Betiku, football star and RST grad student, who talks about his education. So I'm with Oluwole Betiku, who's here. He's the leader in sacks in the nation for Illinois. Now, Wally, you went to USC, you got your degree in international relations there, right? What made you pick Illinois and why RST?
I mean, obviously, football was a big part of picking Illinois, but RST was like, I felt like after my international relations background, I wanted to focus on something that was kind of closer to what I do every day to understand sports as a whole and the business side of sports, because that's what I do every day. And even if I'm not an athlete, I would love to work around sports. And, RST is one of the fastest growing organizations in the world, and to be a manager in sports is different from going to business school, because business and sports is totally different. And I felt like my international relations background, sports is something that's becoming very global, and different countries have different rules. I already understand a lot when it comes to international relations. Combining that with the knowledge I would get from RST can really give me like a step forward in working with any international organization, which is every sports organization is an international organization today, and that's one of the reasons why I picked it.
Now, are you taking online classes or are you going to class?
I'm going to class.
Okay, so have you met a couple of your professors already?
Yeah, I met.
What do you think, who's the person that you think would have the most impact on you?
I think the issues, the class I'm taking right now, the issues in sports and everything, where you get to talk about the problems that sports is dealing with today and the future problems that's going to come with sports. I think I like that one because just being an athlete myself, I'm able to contribute a lot in the class and really talk about issues in my sports like the NCAA or concussion issues and how it's going to affect the future of the NFL, and also see all the things that happens in other countries. I can use my background coming from Nigeria. They talked about this issue one time about the way in international relations they talk about the brain drain, how the developed countries brain drain on the developed countries for doctors and all this skilled personnel. And in sports they say, okay, developed leagues draining the athletes, and I'm an athlete who came from another country, and I said, well, it all comes down to it. Medical is a big part of sports. If you cannot provide good medical facilities in your country, and my country is so corrupt, you don't expect any athlete to be there because injuries is very big in sports. So it's not about brain drain. And then if you're paying an athlete $20 million a year and he's spending even 10% of that in his country, you're helping that country's revenue in a way. So I gave that point in class, and the professor was really impressed with that because they were like, oh, should the leagues be forced to pay back some kind of money for getting athletes? I don't think so, because most of those countries, like South American countries, African countries, are so corrupt that the money is not even going to get to the athletes. It's the same problem with foreign aid and international relations. You send foreign aid to countries and it gets back. So it's just really interesting being in class and being able to use my international relations background and put it with sports and really have good discussions, class discussions.
You talked about the brain drain. There's quite a pipeline between Nigeria and Illinois. I don't know if you knew that, but especially with AHS. Did you know that? Is that part of the reason why you came here, or?
I mean, it's like, I feel like Nigeria, especially Nigeria as a whole, Nigerians go everywhere. Because the country is just so corrupt and it's not getting any better. And when the country doesn't have policies set up to promote the growth of the youths and everything, every young person who's smart and athletic is going to want to leave.
Yeah, that makes sense. I know football is the goal, right? You think about NFL, CFL, XFL, whatever it is post this. But do you think about post-football? Will RST, you think, help you find what your career is?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I would love to work. I love to travel, so I love to work as an ambassador, as a work with politics. Sports has to do with politics, so it can be any kind of sports. Like,
Hmm.
you look at the NFL right now. The NFL is spreading everywhere. The NBA has, it's everywhere. There's fans everywhere around the world. With social media is a big deal, and
Hmm.
sports is becoming bigger than ever. The same way. When the train system was invented, people were able to play interstate sports, and the flight when the plane got invented, people were able to travel from country to country and compete. But the way the world is getting closer with the development of internet and other new technology, I feel like sports is gonna get much bigger than ever, and I see RSD like is really gonna help me a lot in the future.
My thanks to Wally Betiku. This has been A Few Minutes With.